Fight!
You know what I didn't know was a possible thing until I saw it in person. Did I tell you about it? Did I tell you about when I saw fucking Seth Rollins put John Cena through a table live?
Was that the power bomb time or the time that John Cena got pushed?
I don't remember. I have the footage somewhere on my phone. I just remember it was so funny because me and Scott went, and you know, Scott being he was the reason I went, is because he was so big into WWE, and we sat in this. We sat behind this couple that were clearly there on a date. This guy and his girlfriend, and then across from he was at the edge, so he was at like where you get up to walk up the stairs inside of the stadium. So it was him, then his girlfriend, and then there was like a row of like 6 kids all wearing matching John Cena garb. Like it was head to toe John Cena. It was these kids were sitting there like they came out of John Cena's womb. And doing the whole "you can't see me" hand gesture, thinking that John Cena was hot shit. So I got to watch as this guy on the end got frustrated by these kids being super loud and obnoxious. These kids probably between the ages of 9 years old and 12 years old, but they were being loud and very obnoxious about John Cena. So he starts fucking with these kids so hard because the title match of the night was Rollins v Cena. So this dude, every time these kids would start getting hyped about Cena, would just go, "Let's go Rollins!" And these kids would get super fucking pissed off, especially the oldest one. The oldest one was like actively becoming irate at the fact that this guy was rooting for Rollins instead of Cena. And he, like, every time this dude would do that, this kid would start going, "No, man, John Cena's the best. You don't say that about John Cena. John Cena's going to beat Seth Rollins." Like getting real passionate about it. And this dude kept fucking with this kid. And keep in mind, this kid was like 4 seats away from him. And he was sitting there continuing to do it because this kid was getting more and more worked up. And I didn't put it together until like the last moment. This guy was continuing to piss this kid off so much to where this kid was standing up to yell at him from seats away. And he was watching the guy sitting behind this kid getting more and more pissed off at this kid for standing up and blocking his view. So this dude finally just lets out one more, "Let's go Rollins!" And this kid shoots up out of his chair and starts screaming at him. And then this dude, probably in his 50s from behind, just goes, "Boy, if you don't sit down!" And this kid sat down so fast. And this dude starts cracking up laughing. And I'm dying from behind the scene because I just got to watch the whole thing happen. And then I got to watch Rollins destroy Cena. It was great. And I don't know if Rollins won, but I just loved watching Rollins beat the shit out of John Cena.
He said he put him through a table?
I think so. If I remember, there was a table involved. It's like I'm pretty sure
was there anything hanging from the ceiling?
I don't know. I remember the table being propped up into the corner of the ring, standing up tall ways. And I'm pretty sure Cena was laying with his back against it, and then Rollins came and put his shoulder into Cena that then broke the table that way. Keep in mind, this was a long time ago, and I've suffered many a concussion, or at least a few concussions. I don't fully remember. I could find the footage on my phone though.
The footage of a concussion?
No, the footage of Rollins doing that to Cena.
Man, I was about to say, it'd be pretty impressive if you recorded your own concussion.
But like that was the era of Rollins where like he was, I don't know if he's always been a heel. Has he always been a heel?
I don't know about NXT, but when the Shield first came onto the scene, Seth Rollins being a part of the Shield, they were still heels until like they became like this hero type thing. And then he broke up the Shield.
Why did he do that?
Because he made a deal with the Authority, apparently.
Because like the era of Rollins that I knew, and I didn't have a whole lot of WWE knowledge at the time. I just came in, and I'm not gonna lie, that exchange probably made Rollins extra cool to me because it was just funny. But I thought his hair was cool. It was when he had the long black hair with like the big blonde strip in the back. It was
Oh,
a
yeah,
cool. It was a
that's,
cool look. I thought he looked badass.
That was probably the early start to his authority storyline.
He was hot shit. I feel like I remember him getting like a Money in the Bank win or something with that in that same type of timeline, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, he won the Money in the Bank contract. And there was this whole like back and forth where Dean Ambrose would like show up, mess with him. I think at one point he stole it and rigged it so it would shoot green goo in Seth's face when he opened it.
Ha! Green goo.
Yeah, man.
It's like that Slime 2000 show on Nickelodeon for us millennials.
Oh my god.
But like Rollins seemed to be like super just talented. He was good at what he did. He was an incredible athlete.
I mean, he's always been a really, really talented wrestler. Like, even starting back in NXT, I may not know a lot, but I know he was the first ever NXT champion.
Really?
Yeah, man. He beat Jinder Mahal for the first ever NXT championship. It's not surprising that Seth Rollins was the first NXT champion. It's more surprising that they put Jinder Mahal in that match.
I don't know who that is.
Probably one of the most overrated jobbers in the fucking business.
What is a jobber, by the way? I've heard you use that term a few times, and I don't know what that means.
I don't know the exact description of it, but the way I've always heard it used is like someone who's put on TV just to lose. They're like enhancement talent. Like if there's a pay-per-view coming up and Roman Reigns needs like a big win to make him look strong before that pay-per-view.
Good for PR.
They'll throw a jobber at him, let him wreck him in like 30 seconds, and then he looks strong.
Oh, okay. So that's like being the cymbal bitch in band. Like you're just. Would you say that a lot of times, like when you're getting into like entry level wrestling, or like not entry level, but like working your way up the ranks, and you're getting into the big leagues, you have to kind of like pay your dues as a jobber before you find your way up into like the big leagues, or like?
No, that's not always the case, man. Like a lot of WWE talent have like skipped the jobber phase.
Really? So that's not. Well, I mean, I get that. That's probably for like the guys who are like, you know, like when a record label, you hear the story when a record label like sees a band and they're like, their vocalists, I can make you a rock star. They probably see that and promise, like the promise in some of the other wrestlers that them kind of pushes them to go ahead and move them right onto like WWE. But I'm talking like people who have gone through like the amateur wrestling local scene, worked like independent up their way, and then finally get into like, or do they not get in as jobbers? They probably only take the best of the best out of those.
That's what the WWE is looking for, like the best talent around. Gotcha. They're probably still upset about losing Will Ospreay to AEW though.
Why is that?
Will Ospreay was like the biggest thing in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
I didn't know Japan had a pro wrestling.
Yeah, they have pro wrestling over. Actually, it's a really prominent pro wrestling scene over there.
Cool. Well, tell me about Will Ospreay.
I don't know a whole lot about Will Ospreay. I haven't touched the New Japan scene a whole lot, but Will Ospreay, all I've been hearing is good things about him. He was like the quote-unquote face of the company or one of their most talented workers in New Japan. So the second he went up for the second his contract was up with New Japan, I mean, there was a lot of people trying to sign him.
And he ended up going to AEW?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. That's
sick. So is he like a high flyer, or does he do like what type of wrestler is he?
He's from what I've seen, he's like a mix. Like he's a high flyer. He's like he's a pretty good all around wrestler. He can do a bit of everything, from what I can see.
Multifaceted.
Yeah.
Right on.
I mean, it's crazy, man. I mean, now it used to just be you'd hear about your guys on your own TV show, right? Like WWE, or like back then it was WCW, at least until it was bought out. But that's what it used to be. Like people would just primarily hear about wrestlers on those TV shows, right? But now there's such an open wrestling scene that people can get like their wrestling entertainment from New Japan, Lucha Underground if they're more into like the lucha style wrestling, Ring of Honor. TNA, if for whatever reason that's your thing, and obviously AEW and WWE.
The Titans.
I don't know if I put AEW as a Titan just yet. Like they were doing good in 2001, 2002, 2021, 2022.
Oh, are they falling off?
It's not like they're well, I guess you could describe it as that. It's like they haven't been having the best booking.
So they're kind of getting outshined.
Yeah, really. Like, again, I still think a lot of the wrestlers there are really talented. Like Darby, Orange Cassidy, Samoa Joe. There's so much going on over there. Wardlow. I mean, Hook is an up-and-comer, too. I could go on for days listing wrestlers. But
All right.
I think they do get outshined by like WWE though, because they do have a sure mass of talent as well that's reliable, like Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, the Usos, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. And in the female division, they got Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, Bayley,
Rhea Ripley,
Io, Asuka. I mean, they got a pretty... They've acquired a pretty packed roster over the years, and they've been pretty... not really good about keeping them, because they've definitely let some big names go, like Braun Strowman.
I remember that name.
Yeah, he was a member of the Wyatt family. I think he was the 4th member.
I loved Luke Harper, R.I.P.
Yeah, Luke Harper was... or Brody Lee, as he was known in... AEW.
And then Bray Wyatt was really cool. He passed away recently too, didn't he?
Yeah.
R.I.P.
It's sad, man. One of the best groups on the planet is losing, their members are dying so young.
I mean, they put their bodies through like extreme, circumstances, extreme conditions, and I'm pretty sure that like opioid abuse is pretty common amongst those wrestlers because they just take beatings every single day.
Opioid abuse?
Yeah, like painkillers.
When they can't do that, they're drug tests. They have a wellness policy.
Well, then for the retired ones.
Yeah, but if they're still under contract. In order to wrestle for them, they'd have to be under contract and they'd have to pass a wellness test.
And that's what got freaking Matt Riddle canned, right?
Yeah, Matt Riddle was on cocaine in a strip club.
I mean, that's the appropriate place to do cocaine.
Yeah.
So he admitted, like, he just came out, I was like, yeah, man, I was snorting hookers and banging cocaine.
I don't know if he said strip club. I just know he said club. I just know cocaine and strip club are like hand-in-hand things.
Yeah. Matt Riddle I liked his stoner character, but
this goes to show you can have a good character on screen and still fuck up off screen.
Yeah, I really liked his character. He was the stoner guy, and he was funny. Didn't he have like allegations come against him recently?
I don't know about the allegations. I know there was some allegations about either abuse or like sexual assault, I want to say, but I don't know. I don't know anything concrete, man.
I'm gonna look. Okay, Wikipedia is stating Riddle stated that he had an affair with Cartwright, but sexual relations between the two were completely consensual. Riddle later filed for a restraining order against Cartwright, alleging that she harassed, stalked, and threatened his safety both in person and over the internet. Okay. The allegations against Matt Riddle are authorities have launched an investigation into WWE star Matt Riddle's allegations that he was sexually assaulted and harassed by a police officer at NYC's JFK Airport. Police have launched a probe into WWE wrestler Matt Riddle's allegations of sexual assault. So there's actually the allegations are not against him. They're for him against. That's crazy. Let me see here. This is all from 2023.
There was something sexual assault involved.
He wasn't found guilty of anything, at least.
He's been accused, but not found guilty.